Hello everyone. Today I'm with Meshenlo Kath, and he's a student leader, and he has been working for Students Union for his own tribe, and during his college days. I think, and this time when the Nagaland election is imminent, he has jumped out of his comfort zone and planning to choose a different way to help resolve all the discrepancies and all the issues that we have in our society. So he wants to jump into the government by contesting the upcoming election. So it's going to be very interesting talk because he's very young and he's going to take on one of the veteran politicians for in this upcoming election. So thank you so much, Meshenlo, for joining for this conversation.
Thank you, brother, for having me here.
So can you tell me about what did you study and what is your background, if you can brief me before we begin, jump into other topic.
Okay, I did my electrical engineering from Madhya Pradesh, RGPV Bhopal. And my schooling, I studied from nursery till class 12 from Model High Secondary School, AG Colony, now which is already a college today. And like I said, after passing this JE exam, the seat allotment which was given to me was in Madhya Pradesh, Bhopal.
Okay.
So I completed from there and I came. And after that, like you have already mentioned, I started working as a student leader, as an activist. Until today, I'm continuing to do like that. And for my living, because many of the people, they think that I'm from a very rich political family, or people are spreading some wrong kind of message about me.
Okay.
So I just want to clarify what I do for my living.
Please do so.
So I've been teaching in Excel Coaching Center, this Excellent Coaching Center,
Okay.
till last year. But this year I was teaching in I was teaching in Dreamcatcher Institute, which is in high school. Again, Core Institute and St. Joseph University, that coaching institute. And the subject that I take care of is this CSET, mental ability. And that is what I do for my living.
Okay.
Apart from that, I don't have any thing more.
Okay.
And yeah, one more, I was also teaching in Cosmos and Magdalene Coaching Center. So altogether, this year I was teaching in 5 coaching institutes.
Okay.
And I'm happy that some of my students got this, they are qualified as gazetted officer this time, even this year also.
Okay. So you have been teaching all your life, I mean all your career, adult life, after your study.
Yeah.
So that's how you earn your livelihood. I mean, or is there any, because you as a student leader and as someone like an activist, nowadays you know the fact that activists, they survive on some of the commission and money that they earn while filing RTI, and many of the people are doing that. So there's a high chance of people considering that you might be doing that as well, because activists, as an activist, what is the source of income, right? Literally nothing. So it's very good that you mentioned about it. I never knew that. So I think you are a very passionate technical teacher. How do you describe yourself? Like,
of course, I feel that, see, most of our Naga people are very weak in mental ability.
Very much. I'm one of them. I'm one of them.
But it is not something which we cannot do.
Yeah.
It is just with our mindset. Right? I think this is difficult, and this particular problem I cannot solve. Before we solve, we already have that set of thinking in our mind, which makes it difficult to solve. Nah?
Yeah.
So I find it very interesting to teach the things which people could easily learn. Nah?
Yeah,
there are so many other ways where, see, the way I understand, I try to teach them in a simple way so that they can understand the matter or the topic properly. So I love teaching. Of course, I love teaching. Not only in the coaching center, but whenever I get time, if somebody asks me some doubt with some mental ability thing, I always love solving and giving it to them.
Wow. I think audience who are watching this should try to get some help or tips from him to solve some of the difficult questions in your exam. So jokes apart, this election and contesting in election is not a children's play. it's going to cost you a lot, regardless of whether you have the money or not.
Mm.
And when you realize that you are a teacher, so you don't have reserve of money or cash as much as the other current politicians for sure. Because as a teacher, what can we expect?
Yes.
So, and you are intending to contest this upcoming election from Kohima AC 9.
Yes.
And this AC has been ruled for the last 3 consecutive terms by Dr. Nike Kire.
Very much.
He's such a heavyweight veteran politician.
Mm.
What made you think? Do you think, is it something realistic on your part to, be part of this bandwagon in this election?
Yeah. In fact, it's a very difficult question for me, but I would try to clarify on this also. See, I don't have any personal grudge against him. First thing, and even if I try to know, I cannot dig out all his history, what he has done, what bad thing, what good thing he has done. But see, what I feel is, considering all those little things, the issues that I always used to talk about corruption, about problem in the employment, about facilities not reaching the public. Okay, when it comes, now I remember one thing, so I would like to share.
Please.
See, when I was also working as a project engineer under one company, here in Kohima, as a project engineer. It was a solar project.
Okay.
So it clearly says that the allotment was given, the number of solar streetlight which was given to Nagaland was 9,810 pieces. 9,810 pieces.
Of solar plates.
The whole thing.
The whole solar set.
The pole will be there, the solar panel will be there, the battery will be there, everything, the complete set.
That's a lot.
Yeah, so the number was 9,810. So it was, everything was sponsored by the central government. So the order also clearly says it should be installed in a place where, in the rural areas, where electricity is a problem.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But see, what was done was, I don't know how much they took, but most of the MLAs, they took their own share. So exact number I may not be clear, but out of that 9,000, 5,000 something was already gone. And I don't know what happened to that 4,000, see. But I, as a layman, as a project engineer, even if I complain, it's not going to affect much.
Yeah.
Now, it was under Department of New and Renewable Energy.
Yes.
So I see some places where all these are installed.
Okay.
So, but what I find is, it is not been installed in a place where it is being told to. So, considering all these kind of things, these are just small issues.
Yeah.
But all this, somehow or the other, we are all connected to politics. So if we know that there is something going wrong, and if we don't speak against that, see, we are openly giving an opportunity to people to still continue to misuse us.
Okay.
Now, that is the reason I feel that we should also be a part of this system. And what I see is in most of the countries where, see, our technology is advancing. So if we let the older generation, like, see, my father is also 60 years only, but most of the politicians are above that age.
Yeah.
So there is a mentality gap.
There is.
They find difficult to cope with the present world today.
True.
And maybe that is one of the reasons why our Nagaland is lagging far behind the other states, our neighboring states, in almost all the fields. So, considering, of course, I know how powerful he is. It's not only him. There are other 2-3 candidates who are aspiring and roaming around here in Kohima town also. All of them are big shots. In fact, I'm just I'm an N in front of them when it comes to money, power and all. But the only thing that I have is the concern that I have inside my heart. The need to change the things which are not going proper today. So if given an opportunity, like I'm saying it here now, a lot of issues are there which I would like to speak and raise my voice in the parliament, in the assembly. So that is the reason.
I think quite interesting. When you look, there's a difference between when you talk to an elderly people and when you talk to young people like you, when you talk to elderly people, you get wisdom. But when you talk to a young person like you get that, you get yourself energized. And I think I can see that in you. You know, you really want to be part of it and change the way you want to see the society. So, however, if I hope you don't mind by saying this, and Kohima is a town of, town or city populated or dominated by the Angamis. And the reality is that Nagas are very tribalistic. We have the tribalism.
Mm.
How are you going to sell your ideas and election manifestos or whatever to your voters in this constituency, which is probably dominated by other tribes, not your tribes?
Mm.
That's a reality that we have to really test before we go for election campaign or before we make a decision to contest. So how are you going to sell your ideas, and how are you going to convince them that, hey, I'm a young guy and I want to change? That's something that I would really like to understand from you. How are you going to do that? Convincing the voters is a big thing.
Mm. Yeah, in fact, I'm happy and I'm fortunate that I'm here in Kohima. So most of my supporters, like you have, it's not about tribalism, but still then, most of the people who are close to me are Angamis, and they are the one who are supporting me.
Oh, okay.
I should say like that. See, because this is not my movement alone.
Not at all.
This is a movement for, it's a combined movement of all the intellectuals, all the youths here in Kohima. The name may be mine, but the idea comes from all the like-minded people that stays here in Kohima. So we all have a thinking that if we still surround ourselves with this tribalism kind of thing, there is no progress.
There is not at all.
So we have to get out of the box, and let's give ourselves, our younger generation, a chance to bring about a change. So, honestly saying, I'm not a good speaker. I cannot say these sweet things. I used to say the things which I know, and the things which I have the proof. So here in my campaigning here in Kohima since 2021, September.
Oh, you started since then?
Yeah, with my friends. So what I have noticed is, see, whenever we go and preach about all these things, and people will be bored if I talk about the whole detail.
Yeah, I know. True.
Yeah, so, but if we talk about all these things, they forget about this tribalism thing. They grab that vision and the ideas that we have. So that is our weapon as of now, and we really hope and believe that these things will change the mentality of the people here in Kohima.
I like what you mentioned in other interview. I watched one of your interviews, and you said that you chose Kohima constituency because here are a lot educated people staying here. If you had chosen a village, they will think that this is a young boy. So why do we vote for this person? And he doesn't have money. So it's a challenge for you also. It's a concern for you that in order to convince, it doesn't go without the challenge to convince even the educated people, right? They understand better, and they can scan and verify us and scrutinize us even better. So there is an advantage as well as disadvantage. So if you can take care of that disadvantage and address that, then you have a lot of advantages in your hand. That's what I feel. So now when you contest, there's a rumor that you might jump into RPP party. You might seek for RPP tickets. What is your stand? Where are you now?
Okay. In fact, I would like to really clarify on this issue.
Okay.
Why? Because in the beginning, I was very much a part of RPP.
Okay.
But the reason why I left RPP, I just wanted to clarify this doubt. Like I'm saying,
please.
Initially I was very much a part of RPP because I like their ideology. Their ideology is very much like mine. So I want to fight against this corruption. I want to fight against illegal things which are happening around where the funds can be used in the proper way, in the proper channel, not diverted, all these things. But one thing which discouraged me is, see, in the beginning, since I was there, I went down with my well-wishers and my friends to ask for RPP ticket. That was last year, okay?
To Kohima, at Dimapur.
Dimapur, yeah.
Okay.
Since I RPP and myself have the same kind of ideology,
Yes, very much.
please give me the ticket from Kohima. That is what I requested.
Okay.
And by saying this, I don't want to defame RPP, okay? I'm sorry, but I would like to mention.
Okay, please do so.
They may have good intentions. Now, the reply that I got was, first they will try to search for some people who can fund himself or fund the supporters. Now, in case if we don't get such kind of candidates, you will be given an opportunity like that.
Okay.
So if they want to use me as a poster boy, they teach something and they don't want to give the ticket to a person who is very vocal about corruption.
Yeah.
Their teaching is different, their action is different. That is the reason I cut off myself from RPP.
Okay.
That I want to make it clear.
Nothing wrong. That's your conviction. Nothing wrong about it. Then how do you think, well, now that you mention RPP is looking for a candidate who can fund himself. So how are you going to fund yourself? Are you able to fund yourself? If you are able to fund yourself, RPP could have given the tickets, right? But they maybe they think that you are just a teacher who loves to help students. But they think that you don't have the money, who cannot fund yourself. So now, looking ahead in this constituency without RPP on your own, how are you going to fund yourself?
Yeah, in the beginning, since I'm also very new to this kind of field, I only had that burning desire, that strong determination to voice against all those kind of things, illegalities. But now, since in my 1 year of venturing here in Kohima, I've gained a lot of supporters who are willing to help in whatever way they can help. So for that, I don't think it will be a problem.
Okay.
Of course, I'm not saying that I will use a lot of money to buy people like that.
Yes, of course.
But at least we need money for this transportation, for
all
fooding,
logistics.
all those kind of things.
Yeah.
So for those things, so like I said, people are there, well-wishers, who are okay with our ideas and who are willing to support us to really give us a chance for a better tomorrow.
Okay. So kind of you feel secure about it, right?
Yeah, very much.
That's why you're making into this decision making that you want to contest. So am I correct to assume that you might contest as an independent candidate in that case?
Okay. As of now, I have joined NPP, National
okay.
People's Party.
Okay.
And the reason why I joined National People's Party is I like their manifesto. There are so many good manifestos, but I would like to mention three. See, the first one is development of Northeast. The next one is youth empowerment. And the third one is education. They really focus on the youth. And if somebody is focusing on education and empowerment of youth, the vision is good too. We are the youth who are suffering. So that is the reason I joined NPP.
And in one of your interviews also, I learned the fact that you declined government jobs. When you were working as an activist, anti-corruption activist, the government departments offered you junior engineer job. You declined it, and what made you do so? Because you know that government job is something everyone wants to pursue and wants to grab it at any time possible.
Yeah, during the time, first of all, I would like to give the credit to my grandpa, to my father. They are all religious, not like me. Now, the thing is, they always used to teach us about honesty since our childhood. Now, I really want to credit them for that. See, because that very day when I was offered, that kind of temptation never came to me. In fact, I was very much more concerned about the remaining number of posts which is still lying there, and for which they want to bargain with the JE posts to me. So I'm more concerned about the more number of posts which is to be advertised to the MPSC. So I really want to give the credit to my father, my grandfather, for their honesty that they have taught me. Yeah,
that's a whole lot of integrity that you are carrying, in your life. I mean, I really appreciate that. Now, coming back again to your election plan, if you look at the trends of Naga students and the young politicians in Nagaland, what they did first is they would join Naga Students Federation to
Yes.
launch their political career.
Yes.
You know, young Naga politicians who are in politics right now, and the older ones also. They were most of them were part of NSF, Naga Students Federation. You could have done that also. It could become a political career launch pad for you also. But why did you want to? Why do you want to jump directly into the election and not via this Naga Students Federation platform? Didn't you think about it?
Yeah. First of all, what we have to know is Naga Student Federation is a student federation. It is to take care of the student grievances. It's not a political training center.
Mm-hmm.
That is what we have to be clear with ourselves.
Okay.
It is not a training center to become a politician in the future.
Mm-hmm. It is not.
See, why not try something different? If you are, most of our Nagas are like that. See, to become a politician, you have to do this. To become a politician, you have to do that. You have to please that person. You have to do according to all those kind of things. And that is the reason, because of the unwanted procedures and all, our society is getting worse, and it's going to be more worse than this.
Yes.
That is the reason.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to see, there are also some people who are suggesting me, why not you first go to NSF? I just want to tell them NSF is not a platform to become a politician in future. It's not at all a platform. It is a platform where you should be raising your voice, taking care of the grievances of the students and the Nagas. We have to understand that.
I totally agree. So you mean to say that if you want to serve people through this government system, and if you want to serve the society, you have to not necessarily join any other students' organization, but you can directly jump and start serving as a, MLA or representative of your constituency, right?
Not exactly like that also. Unless you start working from the grassroots, you will not know the system.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
Many of the people are saying that I don't know the system, all this. See, working for 9 years is not a joke.
Yeah.
At least I can proudly say that I know what is the duty of the minister, what is the duty of the secretary, what is the duty of the director, how they should function, how they should do all these office procedures and all. Only because of that, since I know they are not performing their duty well, I should say like that.
Yeah. Okay.
That is the reason that I feel the need that we should also be a part of it.
Okay.
Because the problem here is none of them is clean, okay? I'm not saying that I'm clean like Jesus, but see, there should be some limit for everything. If there is a scheme coming up, minister, his own share, next secretary, his own share, next director, his own share. Now, the real thing which should have been given to the public, like I have mentioned earlier about the solar street light, things are going like that. Okay. So who will blame who? Director cannot blame the secretary cannot blame the minister cannot blame the secretary, because all of them are responsible. Now, if we taking example of this Arvind Kejriwal and all, now his minister just took 1% of the scheme. 1%. Imagine 1%, but he terminated because he don't want corruption to exist.
And how many percentage are ministers here take?
Yeah. See, those are the things. So only because that we know the system and it is not going proper, we feel the need that younger generation should come and try to put all those things together. Of course, at one go it will not be possible. But if we keep saying that at one go it will not be possible, what is the use? And what I have observed in our Naga society is the one who has zero contribution in the society will talk so much evil about the others who is really working hard for our society.
Human.
The one with the least contribution in the society speak full of negative things about others. That is what I have noticed. But anyway, we cannot expect 100% support from all the people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because
you just need the majority votes, that's all.
Yeah.
that's democratic election. Yeah. But you say that people are blaming, or people are just poking at you that you don't have the knowledge of how the system works, how the paperwork is done. And as a politician, you don't need to know that. You have the bureaucrats for that, to do that. As a politician, I feel that one has to be having that political will and commitment to be transparent and honest and have the vision of how to transform our society. As long as you have that, the rest of the knowledge will be taken care of by the bureaucrats. That's why we have bureaucrats.
But for me, I feel that, see, if you don't have the knowledge about a particular department and you are heading the department, it's like a blind leading the blind.
Of course, of course.
So we need to have at least some idea.
Yeah. And you feel that you have enough of that.
I will not say 100%, but at
Not
least I have the
100%.
idea how it should function.
Yeah. And the basic
Yeah.
idea of how it functions and how it should function.
Mm.
So by that
Yes.
knowledge, you think that you'll be able to run or you'll be able to help the administration in your own way, right?
Yes, yes. If given an opportunity, very much. Yeah.
Interesting. I think there's no guarantee that you will win or there's no guarantee that you will lose either.
True.
But the fact is that Abraham Lincoln is a good example for politicians and for all of us. He failed. He tried to contest 9 times. I mean, he tried to contest and he failed 8 times. And he failed after failing 8 times. Later part of his life, he became the president, the most famous president of the United States. And he said, success is going from failure to failure without losing your enthusiasm and your vision. I think you, as a young aspiring politician or candidate, should be determined enough to win, and when you don't, also should be determined enough not to give up.
For me, I used to say these things to my friends. Say, I love challenges. If somebody challenges me with something, I will make sure that it is done.
Mm.
I have mentioned this one so many times,
Okay.
but see, it's not at one go that things are made possible.
Mm.
Taking example of this formation of this Nagaland Staff Selection Board and all, or
Okay,
reduction of interview marks and all,
Right.
or maybe still we have some grievances like this NPAC should appoint some technical experts who should be taking care of the website and all.
Okay.
Because Nagaland Staff Selection Board, NPAC, the website, how poor it is. It is not at all user friendly. Those things we have been demanding so long back.
Okay.
No, we hope and believe that someday that will happen. That there will be no interview. Our website will be developed better. So if I fail, in fact, it gives me more power, I should say. See, some people will hurt me in some way or the other. They think that I will just keep away silent. No, in fact, it gives me more power. I love challenges. No, that's what I want to tell.
Your enthusiasm is going beyond the wall, and I hope you keep up the same enthusiasm till the time election comes. And I know it's going to be challenging for you as a young person. I mean, we having that look and appearance of a young boy in a society. Just one sec. Yeah. Imagine having our looks. We have that the baby face. We have that the boyish look. Sometimes it's very difficult to convince the elders, the voters, that, hey, I'm going to do this for you. Please vote for me. It'll be very, very difficult. Because our society does not count on the young people as of now. We just trust too much on the elders. So I think, I just have a feeling that you'll have to face a lot of challenges and struggles. And the only thing, you don't have to give up. So any last words that you would like to conclude with?
Yes, like you have already mentioned about the difficulties that I'm facing or
Yeah.
maybe I will be facing in the future.
Right.
So one thing that I want to make an appeal to the public is to please, deep inside your heart, if you feel that you want to get rid of this corrupted system, please give us a chance. Give me and my team a chance. And also to the people to please remember me in your prayers. See, why? Because miracles do happen, okay?
Definitely.
I really believe.
I
So
do.
please continue to remember me in your prayers. That is my humble appeal that I want to make to the people here.
Appreciate that. So thanks for this time. And I wish you really, really all the best. And I wish you best that, in terms of reaching out to your voters, that's the most important thing.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank
so-
you for all this this wonderful conversation. I really had a good time. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I feel energized, and I also have the same determination for my goal as well. So I'm inspired by your enthusiasm and your courage to take up this challenge. So let's talk again. Let's talk again. And if you win, it will be a talk with the MLA. So keeping that dreams in your head, let's look forward to the future.
And I would like to request you also to pray for me.
I'll do that. I'll do that. Although, as a media person, I'm supposed to remain neutral, but
True.
a word of prayer will always be there. Thank you so much for this time.
Okay, thank you.
Let's talk again in future.
Sure.
Thank you.